Hey folks, how we doing? Today's video is going to be fairly short, but it's going to cover something fairly important. Um, First, I want to talk about, I get a lot of questions when it comes to these videos or an email that goes out to everybody. Oh, was that because of my lodge? Is that why you did that? Let me tell you now, when I'm stating a rule or a correction of something, it's not usually because of one lodge. It's usually a problem at a handful of lodges, and that's why it rolls into a video or an email. If it's just one simple lodge, then I usually just talk to that particular lodge. Been getting that question lately because some of the videos. Today, what we're going to talk about is social media. Specifically because most lodges use Facebook. That's what we're going to kind of stick to. I'm not going to talk much about the others. We've had a few issues where members have complained on social media about this or that, and maybe the words were crass or just right down rude, and then the lodge wants to suspend them or get them removed from the organization. I would definitely keep records of those, take screenshots and file them away, but Moose International still has a stance on social media. And that is, first of all, it's happening outside the lodge. Second of all, we cannot prove that that person posted that because people get hacked all the time and things like that. That's not my personal opinion. I think one day we'll move forward and be able to include that because there are some investigation type things you can do to see if that person's been around for a long time on Facebook, if they'll admit that they posted that. But right now, if they post something derogatory, if it's on your page, you can naturally delete it or whatever, and you can even ban them from your page. You have those rights. But if they go on some other social media or some other Facebook page and are saying that, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, you could always post a comment to their comment, but then you have to track all that down. It becomes a thing. It's a fight between you and them, and it's not worth it. That's real quick. That was just that because I've had a few questions about that, and we've had a few situations over the last year dealing with that. What I want to talk about more is about publicizing and using your Facebook to your lodge's advantage. All the lodges should have a Facebook page. Some things I'm going to say, some don'ts. If you have somebody setting up your page at your lodge, don't let them turn it into a personal page. What that means is they're filling in a name and all that stuff. They set up a page, and there would be Moose whatever from wherever, and there would be an administrator for that page. And the administrators who runs the page can take the page down, can put editors on it. Don't let just one person be the administrator of that page. You need to have at least 3, maybe 4, because if someone should leave and they have control of that Facebook page, they can delete it, put bad information out, or you just won't be able to use that page anymore. If there's at least more than one on there, then if they try to delete it, it will warn the other administrators that, hey, someone's trying to delete this page, do you want it deleted? And you can say no. And then you can remove that person, that individual. It takes time to remove them, but remove them from being the administrator of that page. Also, if you're a lodge and there's more than one page out there for whatever reason, past administrators of the lodge had more than one, or someone created one that's not connected really with the lodge, you can contact Facebook and let them know on that page, report that page as not being a legit page or of that business. What they'll do is they'll contact you, they'll call you, they'll call what they have on record as the lodge number to verify that the page that is being ran by them, and they do have the authority that it's not a business, then they will take it down. There are some lodges out there that have 3 or 4 Facebook pages and only one's good, and so we need to try to get rid of those others also. Back to publishing, we were doing good about a year ago and it was really slacked off. If you're publishing something for the lodge and it's going on in the social quarters, you need to remember that advertisement has to be tagged with members and qualified guests. If you don't do that, the IRS is going to see that. They're going to come and they're going to want to tax you because they think you're selling to the public. We don't want that happening. And don't think the IRS isn't looking at it, because they are, because we've had them and we've had the Gaming Commission. That's how lodges have gotten in trouble, things they've posted on their social media. So we need to remember that it's members and qualified guests. Unless it's an open to the public event, then you better have had a dispensation for it. You had approval for it. If it's alcohol, then you need to have that specific dispensation filled out. There needs to be insurance if you're having non-members, in your reception hall or on the grounds that it would be drinking. And you need to make sure you contact the excise, because the excise is in on that also. Cover your bases. If you're not for sure about that, there was that event planning guide that went out last year. That's very helpful. That should be up in your lodge in your office to be able to view whether you need insurance or a dispensation. That was a great flyer that came out last year. Also, let's see, don't set up the pages. I also want to talk about newsletters and getting information out quickly. First of all, we aren't using our Facebook to get information out of changes in the lodges that are happening, whether it be your social quarter hours because they've changed because of the COVID shutdown, or that you've opened back up to regular hours and people don't know it. You've got to use as many venues as possible to let those members know that you're open back up or what's going on in the lodge. And when it comes to newsletters and emails, we need to be doing newsletters. You don't have to necessarily mail them out if you've got someone's email. Now, when Byron Dalton was around as a general governor's assistant, he pushed that during a special meeting you can have a vote that you can go to electronic media if you have a person's email. Now, what we've done wrong there is they've had the special meeting, they've had the vote, and they thought all they had to do was send out emails to the people they had emails. You still have to contact each individual member one way or the other. That is their right. And I'm talking about men members still till next year. But, it always still is good to include the women in on those communications. So what I'm saying, though, is if you have that special meeting, which is what Byron Dalton wanted us to do, he didn't say specifically have one special meeting just for that cause. If you were having a special meeting, then tack that on also for that vote. It has to be written in the minutes that the board and the general membership approved electronic information. If you get that approved, you can start an email list, go and see what you have on emails already in your LCL, and export those out and contact those people. If you don't have an email, though, for somebody, they still have to get a mailed in newsletter. So you don't just cut them out. They still get a newsletter unless you've got their email. And I would suggest starting a new email page. I've seen a few lodges doing that recently and say, hey, make a deal out of it. If we get your email, not only are you going to get the newsletter once a month emailed to you, but any sudden updates or changes. If there's something that happened at the lodge and the water main broke and the lodge had to be closed down that night, or something has happened and therefore you can't have a certain event, being able to contact as many people and let them know they're going to get those updates first. So make it worth their while to get them to sign up. That's all I have. I already took more than 5 minutes. I'm at 8 minutes. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Thank you very much. You guys have a good day.